9 a.m. around here. And yeah, so I decided to make this video so that I can show how much setups, or how many setups we can see after FOMC had passed. Well, we got a huge downside from the FOMC news time from the dollar, and if I can show it to you quickly, that is around this time here. Yeah, so 9 p.m. all the way towards the end of the day, and now it seems like we're pulling back up in the dollar. And yeah, they talked about a lot of things in the FOMC, but it was to our advantage. I think it was to our advantage, because in the long run I am starting to see some setups play out, most setups that are dependent on the dollar, that is. Yeah, so that is why I have the dollar in front of you guys, and I will start dealing with it. So we had said that we could expect the dollar to go up and sweep these levels before it comes down, but then again we are at a very key resistance level here, so that should tell you something in itself. Yeah, so as of now we are actually respecting a 4-hour fair value gap in this time, at this time. So it is also key to observe this fair value gap right here at this region, that is at this region here. So if I'm to look for setups, I would definitely go to the lowest time frame possible so that I cannot risk as much, and in the lowest time frame I would see if this fair value gap fails, that is in the next 5 minutes. If it fails, then I know I'm starting my journey downwards. And then now what will confirm my full bias will be this swing right here, this one. This is the first one, and this is the second one, because after we break these swings to the downside, then we know we have a straight bearish dollar bias. What will that do to the other pairs? It will actually cause them to respond consequently. So for example, we have GU as well has been, is in a fair value gap as we speak in the 4-hour, and so any rejection from the fair value gap, we would get price moving upwards like that. Also EU, also in a fair value gap, but for EU ideally I'd want the fair value gap to be above this region. Yes, this would be a buy and you would make money from it, but if it's above here, it's easier to like trace, because now you have a broader distance of of retracement all the way to from here all the way towards here and all the way towards here eventually. But then again, yeah, it's still dependent on the dollar, so I'll definitely place alerts at the open of the fair value gap so that if price just leaves, I could just enter. Also AU, but AU didn't look as interesting because we had consolidated. Remember I talked to you guys about currency strength and how currency strength changes things. So since the AU is slightly, should I say, weaker or stronger, so it doesn't have as much potential. Like setup wise, the AU is below the swing points, so we could see, you could think it's gonna go down, but then again things could change and it's gonna go up. Because of this consolidation here, I'd wait for price to be above this level for AU. For NZD, because it's more weaker than AU, so even here it's not like we're seeing setups per se, we're still stuck in the consolidation range. However, we could expect price to come into this 4-hour fair value gap before it goes, or because we got a sweep from this region here, we got a sweep from this swing high here, so price would come in here and then go, or even disrespect it, just as how it happened here. But I'm still thinking if the dollar sells, we still have momentum upwards to buy. USD CHF, USD CAD would all behave the same. In fact, I had already placed an order to be triggered but this is a paper trade order. It's not a real account order because I don't know, I didn't set it. I was just like at 4 a.m. in the morning when this candle was forming. I was like, let me just set that price should enter here and leave. So if we see a beautiful rejection here, this is a possible trade that I'd take actually. Yeah, targeting these targets here. So how would I approach this trade? Again, lower time frames is key because I want to risk as little as possible. I'll just scale lower and look for fair value gap fails here. If this one fails, then I know I can just my stop loss above this fair value gap in case price comes to enter this fair value gap, and then send it all the way lower. So that's how I'll approach this. And for card is also an interesting case because now we have, remember this fair value gap that was formed a couple days ago. Now price is in, the rejection is not as sweet, so I'm expecting price to keep going lower. In the 4 hour we have, sorry, this is, I was just looking where would price reject first. Yeah, so in the 4 hour we are seeing price going as close as the 50% in the fib to retrace, but this is not as important. Yeah, so we're seeing that beautiful break and retest pattern where you had the swings broken first and then into fair value gap and then respect like that. So if this fair value gap holds and price goes down and this fair value gap is disrespected, this is also another beautiful entry like that. So I'll just keep it there, like here. Oh no, this is for buys. This is for buys, so I'll just put a sell trade right there. And if I target a 1 to 2, it's good. Risk 10 get 20, risk 20 get 40 is also good. Yeah. So that's for USD card, and then there is USD JPY, which has been, sweeping the rejection points over and over again. So now my point of emphasis would be this one, not this one. So if we get a break lower from this corresponding to this fair value gap here, I would go lower with it. Simple like that. If I'm going to approach it in the 15-minute, I know in the 15-minute I'll see failure, like gap failures and stuff like that. Like for example, in the moment we have this gap failure here, I could place my stop loss just above this swing in case price comes and sweeps me before going down. Press my stop loss right there and then let it tank. As of the moment, we could see there is a possibility that we get that immediately, so we can enter. Of course, I'll enter off the charts and like off the video, and then I'll update you as how the trades will go. Am I planning to hold them long run? Yeah, definitely. But then again, it also depends on how the dollar will respond in the afternoon at the New York session. Lastly, we have gold and silver. Let me start with silver because we still have, currently we do have a 15-minute bearish bullish fair value gap failure right there. So we could still see price starting to respond in this, because this above is a 4-hour fair value gap. So if this fair value gap is failing, it's because of the strength of the 4-hour fair value gap. So this is when I would consider taking my sells right there, targeting this low and ultimately this low. Yeah, so that is how I approach this. If I go to gold and silver, let me just go to the daily before I go to gold and silver. Starting with silver, we still have the same story, whereas we were sweeping this area and then we're pushing up. So in this paper trade, I'm still live, I'm not taken out yet. Any close below this, I know that the trade is over, so we wait. But if I want to enter in real markets in the 4-hour, I'd also observe this fair value gap failure right here. And you see, the thing is now we kind of like stuck in a consolidation. Let me just go to the daily. and take this out and hide it for a moment because I want to show you something. If you go to the 4 hour, okay, let me just hide. Where's the hide button? Should be hide. So see, in the 4 hour, this thing becomes very much unclear because now you have all this choppiness with decreasing bearish push that is not enabling us to go higher. So what am I expecting? If I look at this failure fair value gap, that's good, that's one. Also, I'll be expected to look for this swing high failure, for these areas of failure, because here we got a sweep, we got another sweep. So this area of 59.6 is a key mini resistance level. We get a break from that, we get a break of this level of 60, we get a break of this level of 63, and we have beautiful bullishness. So now I'm not trading silver, and gold would tell you the same thing, but with gold slightly different, because remember we had a break of the bearish structure and then now we're stuck into consolidation. I do not have a bias to buy gold just yet, so I'll just have to wait for this is invalid. Yeah, the alert is invalid, so I'd have to wait for any disrespect into this fair value gap. Once it's formed, even this is invalid as well. Yeah, so see, we're still stuck in the consolidation range, so there's no setup here. However, if we get the push all the way to these lows, a sweep, because these lows are key, they're like a key support region, but if we still get an ideal buy at this area, then I will definitely buy it now without hindsight. And then we have this area here. If we get a push and break here, I would consider it. So just quickly, maybe for the last 3-5 minutes, let me show you which setups I'll be wanting to look at. Start with the GU. Yeah, the GU is good because now we got a sweep here, sorry, we got a slight break above this area, push back into the fair value gap. So this is an area I would observe right there. Area observe. What is silver doing? Oh yeah, so silver is also printing candles above, so I'm guessing fair value gaps are failing at the moment. Yeah, so I don't know, like it's not like this region is giving and it wants me to trade. If it were these lows, then good, but see, it just turned from a point of less concern. Don't know, maybe 1 hour is gonna show me something. No, see, we're just stuck in consolidation. As I said, if it were these lows, then yeah, I would give it a chance, or at least maybe if it was this fair value gap failing. But then again, if it's for this fair value gap failing, I'd go to minute 5 and get my entry, short entry all the way to this. But if I want longer entries, I want breaks from that point. So as I was showing, GU should be my first setup of observation. EU is also next, but with EU now, yeah, with EU we are already in the fair value gap. So for ideal buys, I want it above this region because this is a very fair value gap. If it fails, we go. AU is not ideal at all. I just let it go, even though it will just obey because it's a weaker currency. But where do I enter? I'll be forcing entries, and it's not a nice thing unless I go lower time frames like this and I just look for a fading fair value gap and let it fly. Little risk, little reward. NZD, yeah, so with NZD as well we have here. So if we break above and we start seeing failure of these fair value gaps, we can send it. So as of now, GU EU is good. Yeah, USD Swiss franc is also good because now if we start going below this area of this area of 0.815, if we start going below 0.815, then we're good. For USD CAD as well, I think USD CAD has better strength compared to USD CHF, so would take a USD CAD trade over USD CHF trade. Yeah, because we already see this strong bearish momentum, fair value gaps failing. So this is my immediate sell right there. USD JPY, I'll stay far from it from now because we're not getting anything unless we get failures here. Yeah, so short video. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you when you see me.